All right, all right, all right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're going to get started here in just a quick second. I want to do one quick thing here first. I want to open up the private VIP room for our current training. If you have not been in the private VIP room yet, I'm going to put that in the link here for you guys to access the live room. Let's go ahead and register here. I'm going to show you why it's important. All right, all right. Let me go to the live room. All right. Test, test. All right. Make sure the guys in the room can hear me. Perfect. All right. I'm in the VIP room. Make that active. All right, guys. Great. Thank you so much for being here today. Look, I really want to share with you guys a church digital marketing strategy that I think is going to be very, very beneficial to help pastors and church administrators truly circulate the gospel, reach their community, increase their visibility, right? Get engagement in the community, and also start converting some of your neighborhood community members into church members, all right? And so that's the ideal thing I want to kind of walk you through here today. Depending on how much time we have here today, depending on how many questions you guys have, that's how long it's going to be. But really, guys, I really want to focus you guys and really this training is going to be a little bit different than probably a normal informational training. I really want to give you guys one step closer to increasing your visibility today. Now, as I mentioned in the chat, if you guys truly want to get, I have a custom visibility report for you. It's going to detail you how visible you are online in the first place, and then it's going to tell you what areas you need to focus on to improve your online visibility. And it really is what I like to call the easy button to getting increased visibility pretty quickly, and all without any advertising cost, right? And then the second thing we're gonna walk you through here today is talking about engaging, right? How to start engaging with your community, right? How to spread your message out there, how to spread your sermons out there, right? And then a little cool tool that we can use is called a chat bot to help us automate some of that engagement so that when you're sleeping, you can still communicate with those who are interested and looking for help, right? That you can provide. And then the last thing we're going to talk about is converting, right? And then I know a lot of people probably do not know about this one simple thing and how you can get actually free grant money for advertising for nonprofits. I'm going to share with you how to get that up to $10,000 in grant money per month just to advertise. So, guys, stay tuned, pay attention to this, take notes if you need be. I really want to help you guys a lot today in this training. So, with that being said, I want to get started and I want to kind of deep dive into what it is as far as the high level overview of what I like to call my church digital marketing strategy. So it really comes down to three pillars, three steps, right? One, increase your visibility. Two, increase your engagement. And then increase your conversions, right? So the question may be, well, how exactly do we do that? So let's focus on visibility for right now. So we're going to focus on visibility. So what is visibility? Now we all know, and I know just from research, talking with pastors and talking with people, right? The number one thing that people want, the churches, the pastors and churches want, right? And it's probably you, right? Tell me if I'm wrong in the chat. But you're looking for increased visibility, right? You want people to find you, right? You want to be visible to your community. You want to be that light on the hill that everyone sees and then knows, well, hey, if I need help, if I need, I go to the church, right? You want to be that visible church in your community, right? We do not want to hide ourselves, right, in the church. We want to be visible. So that's probably the number one thing. So how do we do that? And it's very, very simple. Today's digital world allows that to be very, very simple, especially if you have a church front business or church front location, right? And you have a church address and a church phone number. It's very, very easy to do that. There's tools that Google allows you to do that in order to you to be able to become visible for those who are searching for a church in their community, right? And so what do we do, right? We take down this visibility, we're going to break it down into 3 other steps, right? The other steps are we have to access where you are. And that's why, guys, I want you to get this online custom visibility report so I can help you access exactly where you are as far as your online visibility. And I'm going to walk you through this report here in a minute, example of a report here in a minute, just so you know what you're getting. And then once we have that report, right now we can start playing out our strategy to increase our visibility. And then from that, we can actually start building and making the changes and making updates that we need online in order to increase our visibility. So very, very simple. So now the next thing we want to look at is engagement, right? And so how do we engage with our community, right? So now we say we're visible, but how do we start engaging with our community, right? And so there's a couple things we got to do, right? One, we're going to have to prepare, and what that prepares thing is, right? Okay, there's going to be some certain tools and software and some resources that you're going to need in order to really help you with this engagement. All right, and I'm going to kind of walk you a little bit that a little bit more in detail, a little bit, and then we're going to have to publish. So we're going to start publishing content out there, right? You want to start engaging with people, we got to start the conversation. So we got to start the conversation. And a lot of us now are doing a thing for COVID. I mean, I know we know a lot of us don't like COVID, but COVID has pushed us into where God wants us to go as far as start to stream our content and putting our content out there on social media, right? Before COVID, there's probably still a majority of churches out there that were not live streaming their sermons. They were probably not putting out content on social media, on YouTube, on Facebook, right? They weren't doing it at all, or using podcasts, right? All these different types of digital media that we could be using to reach our potential, well, reach our community. I don't want to talk in business terms here. I want to talk in our community, right? And so now a lot of us, majority of us, probably start switching over, live streaming now and producing content. Now, it's great just to live stream, start producing content, putting your sermons out there, maybe putting your Bible studies out there, right, on YouTube and Facebook. But there's other channels you could be using too as well. And then not only that, a lot of times, I know there's a lot of churches, that's all we do. Now, we can also repurpose this content. Take this content, these sermons, take smaller snippets of our content and repurpose it and send those out throughout the week to start engagement, right? And then we want to start the communication in our social media accounts. So we got a sermon. We want to get people to engage in them while they're watching our sermon, right? That's how we start engaging with them, right? And so we have people make comments in the comment section during our sermon, during our Bible study, and then we have someone that replies back to those comments, right? Very simple. Same thing with small snippets or repurpose of our sermons or our Bible studies. We make small snippets, and then we have some questions that we say, you have any questions, put it in the comments, and then we'll respond back to you or direct message us, and then we'll respond back to you, and then we'll have someone manually respond back to them, right? A lot of us don't do that second step in repurposing. So that's what this whole publish is. So there's going to be, we're going to produce. So we're going to produce, and then we're going to have our post-production, which we're going to do our other things here, and then we're going to use something I like to call our chat, right? And so here's our chat. So I mentioned how we talked about, hey, we're going to engage, put content out there, but now we're going to start the conversation. And when we're going to use chat, we're going to chat with folks online to start that communication, right? And then to start to try to move them from just chatting online to now becoming a member of our church, right? So I'm going to show you a pretty cool technique that, hey, I know a lot of times when people might be up at despair, maybe late at night, right? And we might be sleeping, but there's ways now with digital marketing that we can use some automation in our chats using a chat bot, right? To allow us to communicate with those community members that are searching for our services as a church, okay? Now, so once we start that communication and we start that chatting, right? Now we're starting to converting them from just someone that's in the community and actually bringing them into the church, right? That's what we want to do. We want to take them from the community and bring them into the sanctification of the church, right? And so how do we do that? Well, it's a few things we got to do. One, we got a plan, right? And what we do is we're going to use a funnel, right? We're going to use a funnel to get people to go from, hey, just talking to me on Facebook or Instagram, right? Or on X, formerly known as Twitter, right? Some of these other platforms, and then try to get them into the point where we can start sending them emails, right? Or start calling them on their phone, right? How do we do that? So how do we go from just being on a social contact to start being able to call them and send them emails? What's the process for us to be able to do that, right? So we got to start making people aware of some of our church services, right? We might have a prayer list, or we're going to pray for people in our community. So if you want to become on our prayer list, right, in your chat, you're going to say, hey, if you want to become on a prayer list, we add it to our prayer list. We also have some other things that we like to send you. Maybe a Bible. Maybe if you don't have a Bible, we can send you a Bible, right? That's why these chats are going to be useful, because you're going to understand what they actually need. Maybe a Bible. Maybe you want to receive our newsletter. Maybe you want to see some of our events. Maybe you want to come see some of our events, so we can send you our newsletter with upcoming events, right? That type of thing, to keep you in the fold. Maybe you want to come actually attend our church service in person instead of online. Or maybe you want to come attend our Bible study in person instead of online. Or maybe we have some other ministries that, that it'll be useful for the community that they can come attend. So you get their contact information. Now that you have their contact information, now you can also conversate with them by phone or by email, right? And those type of things, or actually live in person at your church, right? So how do we do that, right? So we're going to plan that all out, and then we got to measure how well that's working. So that's our measure stage. And then, guys, I know we're going to advertise, and this is really, really key, right? Obviously, I put this in here and advertise on the conversion, because look, once you get all these other steps down right, then we want to accelerate through advertising. Then we're going to be able to measure how successful advertising is. And why I'm telling you guys here in the step advertising, really cool thing here is that you might be eligible for up to $10,000 of free grant money per month, right? Through a program through Google. All right, and I'm going to show you what that is here in just a little bit. So I want to take a pause here if we have any questions so far. If not, I want to kind of walk you through. I'm going to go back here to our visibility, and I want to focus on assess. How do we assess where we are online physically? Okay, so we're going to jump into that here really quick. Let me pull up an example report. Is this example report? I have to be honest with you guys, I had to remove some of the information because I did not have the full privilege or authority to share all this personal information from this church. So, but I want to use this as an example, just so you know what's going on. So when you sign up for this online visibility report, right, which you can physically do here in the chat, right? Just go down. I'll put the link in the chat for you. All you got, or go into the post that's in this this live broadcast in the description area. There's a link there. You just click on that link. It's going to allow you to register for this training. And once you register, you'll be taken to a thank you page. It's going to tell you how to get your visibility report. All right. So go ahead and do that. But when you do that, right, it takes a little bit of time because it is a custom report. So it might take, up to 15 to 30 minutes for the report to go out there and generate for you. But once you get that report, it's going to look something like this, right? So local SE report for, your church name, all right? It's going to tell you the date that was done. And then it's going to give you a summary score of how well you're doing in 7 areas. These 7 areas are 1, link and authority, your rank tracker, how well you're ranked in the Google search results and Bing search results, right? Your local listings. These are like citations. So there's going to be local listings, citations or business sites that list businesses and nonprofits, organizations, right? They're going to list them. But if you're not on those local listings, then you're going to have a poor rating. You can see here for this church here, this is red, right? Green is good, red is bad, and orange color means it's on the borderline, right? So we want to always focus on the red first, and then we're going to focus on the orange next, right? So you can see our local listings is poor, and then we have reputation manager. So we have good reputation. That's basically your online reviews. So online reviews are looking good here for this church. And then we have Google Business Profile. Used to be called Google My Business. It had another name before that, I forgot. But Google Business Profile Audit. This is say, okay, for the Google Business Profile, which is like the easy button, start getting your visibility really, really crisp and clean, right? This is okay. So it could be improved, right? And then we have on-site SEO, which is search. SEO stands for search engine optimization. And so how well is your website SEO friendly, search engine optimization friendly, right? That's what this is going to tell us. So it's saying this is okay. This is okay. And then it says your social channels. Do we have social channels? Now, I will admit, sometimes the report does a little quirk. And sometimes you might actually have a Facebook page, right? You might have a Twitter account. But for some reason, it's not linked right because maybe your website's not linked to that page, and it can't find it easily going through your website, right? And it can't find it based upon the name of your church. Maybe you have a different name for your Facebook page or your Facebook or your Twitter account, wherever your social accounts. So it can't find it easily. So you might have it, but that's okay. If you do have it and this is poor, that's all right. Then we can actually manually add it so that it actually shows up. All right. So that's the thing. So when we look at this, and if I was telling you, guys, here's the deal. First thing I would say is these things right here we're not going to worry about. These green items here we're not going to worry about. We're going to focus on improving our local listings, and we're going to focus on improving our social channels. And then after that, we're going to focus on that red here. We're going to focus on our Google Business Profile, right? And then we're going to focus on our on-site SEO, right? To increase our visibility. So let me just deep dive a little bit more. I'm going to walk through these real quick. So here's our links and authority, right? You can see the status here up in the corner is good, right? It's going to show you a Google index count, how many pages you have that are indexed versus your competition, right? And then if you want to look at a screenshot of it, you can see the screenshot. You just click on that icon there, but we're not going to do that here for today. Your link counts, how many links you have versus your competitors. So this is why we're really good here. You look at this. This church has 40 link counts, and where compared to other churches have 0. So this is why it's looking pretty good. Linking domains, this church has 81 versus average competitor, which is 37, which is why this is good, right? In Majestic Sea, went too fast. Majestic Sea Flow, right? Compared to our competitors, they're 7, we're 11, 16 versus 10. Domain authority, website age, 22 years. This website's been out there since 2001. All right. So that's links and authority. Now, our ranking, how we rank in the Google search results, how we rank in Bing, right? So it's going to tell us here. So you can see here for a keyword here, right now, denominational church in Warren, it's ranked number 1. It's also this type here means local pack. LOC means local pack. So you go to like this, usually in Google search results, there's going to be like general listings, and there's going to be what they call a local pack, which these are local organizations specific to your community. So this is saying here that it's actually ranked number 1 in the local pack, which is good for this keyword on the Google, right? 99 church near me, there's no ranking there, but on the Google Maps, it's ranked number 1 on the local pack, which is good. Warren Denominational Church, right? Non-denominational church here is ranked number 2 for this keyword on the local pack. And then there's life application Warren, right? That's someone types that in. And this is the knowledge, right? The knowledge position, right? Of Google, right? So in the knowledge position of Google, this is ranked number 1, right? This is usually off to the right-hand side of the screen. When someone types basically typing the name of the church, it's going to pop up with your information. So it's saying it's number 1, right? Same thing here, KP, also with Bing. But you can see here on Bing, the ranking is not as great on Bing, right? It's 5th, right, on local pack, 5th for that, and 4th for that. So not as great on Bing, but as it is on Google. Now, obviously, Google is probably the major search engine that most people use, but there's still people that use Bing. So this is an area eventually that we want to look at trying to improve. But since it's already good, we're not going to focus on that right now, okay? And then you can see Google Mobile, where we are here, and then Google Maps, right, ranking 7th, 8th, 2, and 1, right? So not bad. There's still room for improvement, even though it says good, right? It's not perfect, but it's good enough. So that's all we care about. Now, look at the local business listings here, right? So listings found, listings claimed, NAP errors, which stands for name, address, and phone number. There's 12 errors we found here. And then there's listings not found. There's 10, right? And so of all the listings that are probably related to local listings that are related to churches, right, it's going to list all those websites here for you, right? These are site directories. And then it's going to tell you here if the listings are found, right? If it's found, your business not found on this one, your church was not found, or if it was found on this one, so this church was found on City Search, which is good. Now, was it claimed? Well, NA means it's not applicable. You can't claim it on City Search, right? So here's a church, but here's the issue right here: address, right? The address, anything marked in red, it means it's wrong. Anything in black is good. So this is wrong. So this address does not match up. So this is the error. This is why it's red. So this is the error that was found. Same thing here on Dex Knows, right? The listing was found, but the error on the address, right? Here's Google, right? It shows the listing was found on Google, right? But the address is correct. So you can see there, right? So you just keep going down through here. Life Application Ministries, Yellow Bot, error, right? And here's one thing I want to show you here. So super pages, the listing was found, but it's not claimed. So how do you claim it? Well, just things all you gotta do is make this go green, is just claim this, and this becomes better, right? And change the information. So that's local listings. Now, here's reviews, right? Reviews are good. So look at the reviews. The average star rating for this church is 4.8 at a total of 84 reviews. It tells you what the reviews are being listed at, 5 stars versus all the other stars. It gives you the last 10 reviews that are listed here for your church or organization are all listed here in the star rating. So that's good. Don't need to touch that. And then here's the Google Business Profile Audit, right? So life application, you got here, is it verified on Google Business Profile? No, it's not. And the ranking here is greater than 50, so it's not ranked. So this is why this is okay. And how do we improve this? All we gotta do is verify this, right? If you look at this, you just verify this Google Business Profile, then this will be a lot better, and it'll probably actually move up in the ranking, right? So this is something that's really easy to do. It's a few clicks to verify, and you're done, right? So that would be something really simple to do for this church. Here's our on-site SEO. Remember, this was okay, right? But here's our on-site SEO. It's telling us right here, our total page speed load time is 55 out of 100. So it's not very fast. It's not load very fast, right? So we want this to load a lot faster because people are impatient. I'm sorry, unfortunately, right? We do sometimes, not everybody has the virtue of patience. And so when people are impatient, it takes that long, they're going to just move on to the next listing, church listing, and see what that looks like, right? So, and then it doesn't have an XML sitemap, right? So it's not a big deal not to have XML sitemap, but it does help with the Google search rankings. All right. So everything else here is good. It's green. You can see here. So green is good. Red is bad. All right. And then lists more stuff here. Twitter tags, open graphs, page descriptions, all that stuff here is listed here in word count. Right. So, mobile, let me go back. Mobile speed, how fast your page loads on mobile is also listed here too as well. And that means you can zoom in that way. All right. So, and then the physical addresses on the pages. So that's that. Now here's the other one, right? So looking at social channels. So social channels showing Facebook as it's not listed. Can't find it now. I personally know that there's a Facebook page, but guess what? The names don't match up, which is why it can't find it. So we will have to manually tell it to look for that social page, right? So that's the deal. That's just your report. So any questions so far from anyone? All right, great. So that is a report. So now what I want to do is kind of go back and say, that's how we access. Now, I just showed you. Now we know also how to, let me jump back here. Now we know how to access the information, right? Access where we are visibility-wise. Now, based upon this report, we now also have a plan of attack to actually know what areas we need to focus on to increase our visibility, right? And so we went back to we go back to our report here, right? We will see that our visibility, which we need to fix, is actually is in the areas of our local listings and our social, right? So here's our plan of attack. Let me go back. So our plan of attack would be attack all these local listings and then also our social channels, right? And then go to Google Business Profile, claim that business profile, and then fix our SEO issues, right? Increase our page speed, right? That's probably one thing we can do. Some technology do that. You got different servers that are faster than others, right? Depending on what we're using, right? Depends also how you design your web page, right? For speed, if you didn't design it for speed, right? Just easy things you can do to make it designed for speed. So there's simple things we can do there to improve that as well. But that's our plan, and then we just build that. We just put in action. We implement the plan, right? That's part of our build process. Okay. So now I want to jump over to talk more about our next area, which is, engagement. All right. So let's talk about engagement here from a standpoint. So engagement, there's some tools. Now, I really love to know if some of you guys are actually streaming live. If you are streaming live, what channels are you streaming to, right? Because one of the things we want to do is prepare ourselves to actually create content out there for people to engage with, right? So that's one of the cool things that we would really want to do here is create content that people want to engage with. So how do we prepare? So there's going to be some equipment, there's going to be some software, there's going to be some setup that we need to do. So I'm just curious. I don't want to deep dive into this because I'm assuming that a lot of you guys probably already started, but I'm just curious how many people out there are live streaming currently today, right? And if you are, what channels are you live streaming to? And secondly, right, are you also doing podcasting? Just out of curiosity, right? As well, all right? And so there's content there. And then, we're going to prepare. You got to create your content. It's obviously, whatever you do, you're going to create your sermons. Whatever you do, there's nothing in addition to what you're doing. All you're going to do is create whatever your sermon is going to be, whatever your Bible study topic is going to be, or sermon topic is going to be. That's just what you do, right? I'm not telling you to really focus on doing something specific outside of what you already do. Just do what you do. That's going to be your content. So no change there for you. All you're going to do is we're going to publish it. And then this talent phase here is right. All I want to do is, okay, how to make you look your best on camera, because that's really what it's going to be about, right? And you probably already know how to do this, so there's nothing really new. It's mostly going to be from your media ministry, right? It's going to make sure they light you up perfectly, have the right lighting and setup around you so that you look your best, and have the right camera angle so that you look your best. So it's not necessarily you, the talent, but how we light and portray the talent, the preacher, whoever's preaching, or the speaker, whoever you want, or the minister, or the elder, whoever's going to be teaching the Bible study, whoever's going to be providing the sermon, right? We want to make sure they're in the best light, the best look. So that's where we talk about the talent. Now we move on to publish, right? And here's where we got some things here. We want to, I want to collapse this real quick, just so I can focus on it. So what we want to do, and then when we publish, we got 3 different things we want to discuss here. Just close this up real quick so you guys can see it all. All right. So now we're talking about publish, and we're talking about production and then post-production. So production is going to be our live stuff that we're going to talk about here. Let me close this up just so it's not confusing. So our production phase here, right? So we have what we want to do is we want to live stream. We're going to live stream to all basic channels. So I like to call it multi-streaming, right? And there's software that you can use to determine what it is you want to multi-stream. But we got Facebook Live, obviously. Most people probably do that. YouTube, right? You can also do Twitter, or known as X now. I just like saying Twitter still. I know I've been just X is saying X is just, I don't know. We have LinkedIn Live, and that's possible, but pretending to do it on LinkedIn Live, you got to have approval to do on LinkedIn Live. You may have that. If you do have it, then that'd be great to go to LinkedIn Live too as well. You can also stream to your own website, right? Why not? Stream to your own website. Doesn't hurt to stream there if you can do it, right? As long as you have the bandwidth to do so, to stream to all these multiple locations at once, you can do so. It's Instagram Live as well. A lot of your community might be on Instagram Live as well, so you can also stream to Instagram Live. There's a gaming community called Twitch, right? Even though it's mostly for gamers, but hey, guess what? Sometimes churches can reach the gamers there too as well because they're already there. So that'd be a platform you can church to online. And then there's also a free platform that you can stream to called Charch Online, right? It's totally free. You have not heard about that? Let me know. I can give you some more information on that. But Charch Online is completely free to churches to be able to use their software to stream their content. You give you give your church members a link, and they can go to that Charch Online and view it, right? The cool thing too about this Charch Online, I believe it also, if I'm not mistaken, I might be getting confused, but I believe it also allows you to also maybe have an app too as well, so they can look at that as well. And then you have Vimeo, you can stream to them live, and then you also have Zoom, right? If you want to just people go on Zoom, you can do it on Zoom, right? So you can multi-stream to a lot of different places. You do not have to do all these places, right? Some of you might not be able to because your account might not be approved for it. For like LinkedIn Live, you might not be approved for it, but most of these other accounts you could probably do. So one of the things is why we want to multi-stream to a lot of different places. Well, because you want to be where your community's at. You want to reach. You want to go to where where the people is in your community. You want to reach them where they are, right? You want to meet them where they are. If they're on Twitch, they're on Twitch. If they're on Instagram Live, they're on Instagram Live. They're on LinkedIn, they're on LinkedIn. If they're on Twitter or X, they're on Twitter. They're on YouTube, they're on Facebook. There you are, right? Okay? So that's why we look at multi-streaming that. So then once we multi-stream, get all the content in, you just go through your sermon. You just go through your normal service. You don't change it up. You just kind of go through your normal service. Right now, there might be some things that you might not want to live stream. There might be some private things that maybe you don't want to live stream, the altar call, right? Maybe you want to keep that private. So maybe switch up the order for live stream. So, maybe do altar call after offering, right? Or you just have some way to just kind of settle and say, all right, sermon is over. Here's your offering call. And then that goes in the background. So the people actually in the church service don't see the altar call. And that way, the people that are actually in your church service, right, they can get the full benefit of, semi-private and people going up to altar call and all that kind of stuff, right? However you guys want to do it. But that's just live streaming. You do it that way. And then once we live stream, right, and then we got to move into our post-production. Right, and this is going to be pretty simple. Let me just clean some of this up just so it's easier to follow as we go through this information. So we have our post-production. Let me just close this one up so it's easier so you guys can see it. So we have our post-production. So this is after we went live. Live stream is over, right? All said and done. And now what we want to do is that we want to actually go into our post-production, and we want to start repurposing our sermon. We want to start repurposing our Bible study, right? And then create more, and we might want to create more content from it to distribute throughout the week, right? And so how do we do that, right? So first thing we want to do is we want to edit it, right? We're going to edit our post-production. We're going to transcribe it, right? We want to get transcription of what we said, and here's the reason why. Because one, you're going to use it as your caption for your video when you put it back on YouTube. You can make sure everything's cleaned up and all that good stuff. And then also you can create it and turn it into a blog. Now, here's a little tip. Here's a little tip. Let's say, I know a lot of pastors have series, right? You have a series on your sermons, right? And it might be a 5-week sermon, or it might be Bible study might be 6 weeks, 8 weeks. It'll be a series. And here's a little tip I have to tell churches. Now, you could also turn that. You want to transcribe because you can turn it also into a book that you can later sell on Amazon or give away to people, right? So you can turn your series into a book, you turn it into a course, right, to help people going through this. I know a lot of times we do sermons, we do series in our series in our sermons or series in our Bible study, and it's the perfect way. That's why we want to transcribe it, because it helps you turn it right into a book. All right, and then if you go to speaking, if you go to other churches, you go preach at other churches or you go speak at other churches, right? Then it's on, back in the day, you used to be, hey man, we got a CD, we have a book, right? Whatever it is, this is how you get your book, this is how you create your CD, all that good stuff. So you want to transcribe it, and then we're going to trim and cut our video, right? Get rid of the stuff that might have been fluff, or get rid of some stuff that we shouldn't have said, or maybe it was a snafu with the media equipment and everything went haywire, and we want to get rid of that and clean it up. We can do that too as well. And then we want to enhance and polish. So maybe the lighting wasn't right? So we're going to fix the lighting, or maybe the sound wasn't right, so we can do some processing on the sound to make the audio sound better, right? That type of thing. Or maybe we want to add some lower thirds, maybe some graphics to it to make it this more interesting, right? And then also, one thing we can do is also, when we do distribute, what we want to do is we can just clean up our live stream, make it nice and neat, and repost that complete live stream. Maybe get rid of all the bumpers in the beginning of the before the live stream. So all like the countdown stuff, get rid of that, cut that out, and then get rid of maybe stuff at the end. So now you just have a more concise sermon, right? Maybe you don't have to worship there. You just have the concise sermon so people can hear that. And then you post that. Other things we can do is we take that posting, now we turn it into a podcast, so it can be on Spotify, Apple, all these podcast channels out there, right, for people to download. So instead of you selling your CDs or giving away the MP3s, you just say go to the podcast station and download it. And you can also not only do a video podcast if you want to, you can also do the audio podcast too as well. So you're repurposing that stuff. Now for social, right, obviously you can put it on Facebook and YouTube. But one of the things we could do also as well is take snippets, good sound bites from our sermon or our Bible study, and create smaller content for that, engaging content to lead people back to our full sermon, right? Or use that as engagement. So that's what we do as our post-production, all right? So that's how we start engaging with our content. So once we get the social media stuff out there, right, one of the things we can do now is now we move on to, oops, made that wrong button. Now we move on to our how to chat, right? So now we got to start chatting with our content. So on Facebook, on Instagram, on our website, on our WhatsApp app, or SMS text messages, right? We want to be able to start chatting with people no matter where they may be, right? So they're going to be on Facebook Messenger. They got Instagram, direct messenger, and in a comment section as well. On our own website. When people go to our website, they got some questions for us. We have a chat feature there, right? WhatsApp app, that's become a new popular chatting platform, especially for group chatting, right? It could be a WhatsApp app, right? And then also SMS text messaging, right? So you directly text them one-on-one. Now, the cool part of this, right, is that there's some automation. There's a lot of tools out there, automation tools out there that allow you to maybe automate some of this chatting. There's one thing called MiniChat. MiniChat is a platform that allows you to basically automate some of your chatting. You basically program it what to say, right? So for instance, let's say you have a sermon, you got a soundbite, and a lot of times people might say, tell your neighbor hallelujah, right? And so they tell your neighbor hallelujah. So you can say, hey, tell your neighbor hallelujah, but if you're online, say in the chat hallelujah. And then when they say hallelujah, you can have a response back to them that might be interested in more things. So, hey, tell your neighbor, if you want prayer, type in the chat, I want prayer, right? And then you have a response that automatically says, when they see the keyword prayer, right, it takes them to a point, hey, can I direct message you? And then once they say yes, you can see them direct message you. What is your prayer, right? What do you want us to pray for? And then you can add it to your prayer list and say, oh, great, awesome. All right, and then you can invite them maybe to your church service. You can do that all through automation through what we call MiniChat, right? So that's a chat bot that allows you to automate the process. And the cool thing about MiniChat, even though you're automating some of these processes in the response, it also allows you to continue to chat live at any time when need be, right? So let's say the conversation goes to a point where you didn't think of that question and you weren't able to, have a response for it. Well, it just goes into the live chat feature and then say someone's going to come back to you eventually to answer that question. All right. Very, 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 very helpful because it now allows you to automate the process of chatting and reaching out to your community, especially in the hours that we might be sleeping or maybe the hours that we might be working, especially if you're a smaller church, right? And you're looking to grow and you don't have the time to be able to, sit there on the chat and wait for people to Facebook message you and Instagram message you and all that stuff. And you're not there available because you may be out serving the community, doing other things, or maybe you have a job still and you got to work, right? And you have a bunch of volunteers, but they're all working. And then so that way you can automate this process. And to the point where you're able to sit down and actually start engaging with them. Okay, so that is really cool. That's why we got this chat feature. And you want, like once before, you want to meet your community where they are. It could be on Facebook, it could be on Instagram, it could be on the website, it could be on a WhatsApp app. It could just also be through text messaging. Right, we can do it all through the software called MiniChat. All right, so that's how we engage. That is awesome part. So now I want to jump in and talk about how we're going to conversion. So now we start the conversation. We're engaging with them, right? How are we going to convert with them? How are we going to convert them from being someone that's talking to us on our social media channels, right, and to actually get them into our church? That way we can actually get them into the church and help them and truly help them, spread the good news to them, right? Help their life for the better, get them saved, right? Get them baptized, get them all that good stuff that we need to do to convert them into the body of Christ, right? So what do we do here? So we got to go from they're just communicating with us online on our website, right? We want to get them into the church. So we got to have a plan. How are we going to plan what we're going to do here? And so one of the things we got to do is we have to build a strategy. And that simple strategy could be like, hey, do you want us to pray for you? Would you like us to add us on your prayer list, right? And that could be the conversation you have on social media. And they say, yes, great. Can you provide us with your email address and what your prayer request is so we can continue to reach out to you and contact you, right? Or it could be simple. Hey, you're reaching out to us. You're looking for a church home. Would you like for a calendar of our events so we can reach out to you, right? Or, hey, would you like a welcome kit Would you like to come to our church service? We can send you a welcome kit. All we need is your email address, right? We can send it to you that way. So that could be your strategy to get them now, because you want to be able to converse with them either by email and by phone, right? It could also be, hey, would you like a reminder of our church services by text message, right? You can say that and say, yes, provide me with your phone number, and we'll send you a text message out to remind you of our upcoming services, right? Or even, would you like a text message to remind you when we're about to go live for a Bible study or our church service, right? Simple things, so you get be able to communicate with them by email and by phone. And eventually you want to get them into the church, you can communicate them by live, right? And so we're going to have a strategy. How are we going to do that? We're going to do it through a prayer list, maybe an email newsletter, right? Maybe because we've been doing a lot of content out there, and we do have a book, right? We want to give them a book. Hey, would you like us to send you a book, right? On the latest topic of marriage, right? We can send you our book on the latest topic of marriage. It's totally free. We can send that to you. Just provide your email address, just provide your mailing address, and we'll send it out to you completely for free, right? Oh, hey, we found out you don't have a Bible. Would you like to give us your Bible? We'll give you a Bible, right? We deliver a Bible to you, to send you your email address, right? There's different ways you can do it. All you gotta do is pay for it. If you don't have a lot of money, right, you can say, we'll send you the Bible for free, but we just ask that you pay for shipping and handling, right? And that kind of cool stuff. So we can have a whole funnel, a whole website built just for those conversion, to get people to give you their name and information, their contact information, so you can communicate with them on a daily basis, right? I got plans. I got all different ways you can do that, how you convert. I got web pages, templates, all that kind of stuff. A whole built-in, what we like to call a sales, it's in the business world, it's called a sales funnel, but I just call it a funnel. It's really a funnel, a conversion funnel, to get people to go from visitors to actually become a part of your actual community and part of your family, right? And so that's a blueprint for you. I can show you guys that stuff later. Let me know in the chat if you're interested in seeing that. I can show you the one I use for people that want to give away a free Bible to get people to come into the community, right? And then we're going to build that funnel, and that's our plan. And now we got to measure, right? So now we got to measure, how well is this working, right? So I show ways of analytics, so we can use analytics to show how well it's working, then how to test it, and then how to adjust for it, all right? Now, we're talking about advertise. Now, here's a cool thing here on advertising. Now, once we get through that, now we want to accelerate this process, right? We want to accelerate advertising, spending money. You want to accelerate the process, but hey, we don't have a lot of money. But guess what? There is a program out there just for nonprofit organizations, right? It's for Google. Google has a grant for nonprofit organizations out there that it's called Google Ad Grants. Reach more donors online with Google Ad Grants, right? Attract donors, raise awareness for your organization, and recruit volunteers in kind advertising on Google search. Ad grants provide access to $10,000 USD in kind advertising every month for text ads. Up to $10,000 every month for text ads, right? So this is where you go. Just go to, I'll put this in the chat for you guys. Matter of fact, if you're interested, it's in the chat. You guys can look at it there. All right. Up to $10,000 a month, you gotta be a nonprofit organization, with official nonprofit organization, and you have to apply for it. And once you apply, it's not too bad. I don't think it's not too hard to apply for it. And then if you're approved, you'll get the access to the up to $10,000 of the grants. Very simple, right? And so once you use that, now it's this text ad. So now we had everything all set up, right? Visibility set up. Now you just become one of the sponsored ads, and you advertise, and it'll be sponsored there for you, in order for you to be able to get more people to your church, right? So now you can, on Google, because most people look for a church, they're really gonna look for. If they're looking for a church, they're gonna go on Google. They're not gonna go on Facebook to look for a church, right? If they're really serious about coming to a church to visit church, they're gonna go on Google to visit church. So why not use this free money, this grant money from Google, to actually accelerate and make sure you're visible to your community, so that you can get more people to just attend and visit your church. All right. And now you have everything else in process. You have everything else in line. You can convert them. You got this chat. You got everything else you need to do in order to do so. All right. So that's simple. That's how it works. That's how my system works. It's very, very simple, guys. And if you guys are really interested in learning more about how to do this, and you want to have a one-on-one consultation with me, it's very, very simple how to do that. One thing I will just ask you to do, you can just let me know in the chat, right? If you're interested in doing so, DM me either on Facebook or send me a quick note in chat, or you can go to my website, 247onlinemarketing.com, and then go to help desk and type in submit a ticket. It says, hey, Claude, I want to know more about your church digital marketing program, how you can help me implement it. And I'll be honest with you guys, there's a couple of programs I have here. I have a coaching program, and then I have a kind of more of a consulting program, right? The coaching program is where I just coach you through this process of how to do it. The consulting program is where I do a lot of this work for you up front, right? Not all of it, but I do a majority of it up front. And particularly in the coaching program, right, I will walk you through the visibility part of it, right? I'll take the visibility part and I'll show you how to do it. But in the consulting program, I just actually do the work for you, right? So all that plan, action, right? We'll get the success report, the plan, right? I'll implement the plan for you, right? I'll just take care of it for you, right? And I help you monitor reviews, let you guys know, your church know, you got some reviews out there. How do you want to respond to reviews? Do you want to respond to reviews? I'll do that for you. The engagement, right? Now, the coaching program, I'm going to show you how to get your live stream up, coach through all that so you can do it yourself, or teach someone from some of your volunteers how to do it, right? Whoever you want. I coach you through all that. You do it yourself. I just coach you. You got any questions, I help you out, right? In the consulting program for engagement, I just help you set things up, right? I help you set up the mini chat, the auto bots to help you set that all up. So that's automatic for you. But then I still show you how to get people. If you need to go live, I don't answer the questions live. I help you set all that stuff up, all the automation up. I help you set all the automation up. I'll do it all for you. Okay. Now, when we go to conversion, right? The coaching program, I'll show you the strategies. I actually give you some templates that you can implement and use, right? Do it yourself. But I coach you through it so you have help doing it, right? I'm your coach. Now, for the consultant program, what I end up doing is I actually end up doing that for you. I'll build the funnel for you. I do all the funnel building for you as well. I do set up all the analytics and all the measurements for you, and I give you a report out monthly on how well this is working for you, right? And then also for advertising coach program, I'll just help you advertise, show you what you need to do, help you write maybe some ads that are appealing to your community, and then or the consultant program, I just do it. I help you manage it. It's still your grant money, but I just help you manage it on Google, all the advertising, all the analytics, and I just kind of help you manage it more so than just coach you through it. All right. So that's the difference on that as well. The coaching program, just so you guys know, if you're interested, is $397 per month. Right. The actual consultant program is $1,597 per month for the consultant program, just so you know. So reach out to me if you're interested in the coaching program or the consultant program, and I'll schedule an appointment with you. We'll walk you through. We'll go through the assessment of your visibility report. I'll walk you through, tell you how I can help you to make sure I can help you, because I don't want you to spend any money without me knowing that I can truly help you. So reach out to me. Very simple and laid back. Just reach out to me through 247onlinemarketing.com. Go to my support desk, type in a support ticket and say, I need help, or type a message here in the DM and say, Claude, I'm looking for some support, and then I'll DM you back through social media, give you your email address, and help schedule an appointment with you. All right? I'll send y'all a link to you. Okay? That's it. Any questions anybody have? All right. Outstanding. All right. I appreciate everyone. God bless you all. I look forward to hopefully meeting you guys in the near future. Until then, God bless you and thank you. Bye for now.